Hello again, Liverpool fans. Welcome back. Big drama is unfolding at Anfield, and honestly, this January transfer window could define Liverpool's entire season. Injuries, poor form, pressure on the manager, and serious transfer battles are all happening at the same time. So today, let's break down everything you need to know about Liverpool's defensive crisis, the hope of signing Jeremy Jacquet, and Arne Slot's clear message about Andy Robertson. Let's get straight into it. Liverpool's season has taken a worrying turn in recent weeks. What started as a campaign full of promise has quickly become one filled with frustration. The defeat to Bournemouth was another painful blow, and it pushed the Reds out of the Champions League qualification places. To make matters worse, Manchester United's win over Arsenal made the situation even more uncomfortable for Liverpool fans. Now the pressure is rising fast on Arne Slot. There have been rumors everywhere. Some reports even claim Xabi Alonso is waiting in the wings. Others talk about secret meetings behind the scenes. Whether these stories are true or not, one thing is clear: Slot is under serious scrutiny. But despite all the noise, the Dutch manager is standing firm. Ahead of Liverpool's crucial Champions League match against Karabakh, Slot made it clear that his focus is fully on the pitch. A win would secure direct qualification to the round of 16 and avoid a tricky playoff. That alone shows how big this week is for Liverpool. However, the biggest problem right now is at the back. Liverpool are facing a full-blown defensive crisis. Joe Gomez is injured. Ibrahima Konate is unavailable due to a family matter. That leaves Virgil van Dijk as the only recognized senior center back currently fit and available. Think about that for a moment. One center back for a club competing in multiple competitions. That is a nightmare scenario. So naturally, Liverpool are looking at the transfer market. And this is where Jeremy Jacquet enters the conversation. According to respected journalist Fabrizio Romano, Liverpool are trying to sign Rennes defender Jeremy Jacquet. The 20-year-old Frenchman is considered one of the most exciting young defenders in Europe, and several top clubs want him. Liverpool are not alone. Chealsea are pushing hard. Bayern Munich are monitoring the situation closely. It is shaping up to be a real transfer battle. Romano has explained that Chealsea have already made progress on personal terms with Jacquet. They are discussing contract numbers and details with the players' camp. Liverpool are also in contact and are trying to convince both the player and Rennes to allow a January move. But there is a big problem. Rennes do not want to sell in January. The French club's plan is to keep Jacquet until the summer and then consider offers. They believe he is too important to lose mid-season. That puts Liverpool in a difficult position because they need help now, not in 6 months. From Liverpool's point of view, this is about survival. With only Van Dijk fit, any further injury could be catastrophic. That is why the club would love to push a deal through this month. Even a loan with an obligation to buy would make sense. Bayern Munich, on the other hand, are more relaxed. They are thinking about the summer window and see Jacquet as a long-term opportunity. Chealsea and Liverpool want immediate action. So what are the chances? Right now, it depends on Rennes. If they soften their stance, Liverpool could move quickly. If not, the Reds may be forced to look at alternative options or risk going through the rest of the season dangerously short in defense. And that brings us to another key story: Andy Robertson. There were strong reports that Tottenham Hotspur were interested in signing Robertson this month. Spurs are desperate to improve their squad and see the Scotland captain as an experienced leader who could help turn their season around. Robertson is out of contract in the summer. He has also seen his minutes reduced after the arrival of Milos Kerkez. That naturally sparked speculation that he could be tempted by a move. But Arne Slot has now made his position very clear. Robertson is staying. Slot confirmed that Robertson is part of the squad and remains an important player. He praised his long service to the club and stressed how vital it is to have experienced players available, especially during an injury crisis. Slot admitted that in football nothing is ever 100% certain, but he said he fully expects Robertson to remain at Liverpool. This is huge. Keeping Robertson means Liverpool maintain leadership, experience, and depth at left back. Losing him while already short in defense would have been extremely risky. So where does this leave Liverpool? In short, the club are walking a tightrope. They need a center back urgently. They are trying for Jeremy Jacquet. Competition is fierce. Rennes are resisting. Time is running out. At the same time, Slot is trying to keep his squad together, block exits, and steady the ship during a difficult period. The next few days could define the rest of Liverpool's season. Will the Reds pull off a late defensive signing? Will Rennes change their stance on Xhaka? Can Slot turn results around and silence the doubters? One thing is certain. This January window is anything but quiet for Liverpool. Stay locked in, Reds, because this story is far from over. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss anything. Hello again, Liverpool fans. Welcome back. Liverpool's season has been full of ups and downs, moments of hope followed by spells of frustration. While the Reds are still fighting on multiple fronts, there is no denying that problems in the middle of the park have played a huge role in their inconsistency. The once dominant Liverpool midfield no longer controls games the way it used to, and that reality has forced the club to start planning big changes for the future. And now, exciting reports suggest that Liverpool could be preparing one of the most ambitious midfield rebuilds in their history. 2 elite-level midfielders, 2 massive transfer fees, and 1 bold vision to transform the heart of the team. If these plans become reality, Liverpool's midfield could look completely different next season. Let's dive into what's going on and why this could change everything. Despite being reigning champions, Liverpool have struggled to find rhythm in the Premier League this year. They have dropped points in matches they would normally dominate, and many of those issues can be traced back to midfield battles being lost too easily. Fatigue, injuries, and lack of balance have exposed weaknesses that cannot be ignored anymore. The club already invested heavily in midfield in recent years, bringing in players like Alexis Mac Allister, Dominic Szoboszlai, Ryan Gravenberch, and Wataru Endo. All of them have shown quality, but the overall unit still feels incomplete. What Liverpool seem to be missing is a perfect mix of control, aggression, and long-term leadership in the engine room. That is where 2 exciting names come into the picture, Adam Wharton and Aurélien Tchouaméni. Liverpool have been tracking Adam Wharton for some time, and interest in the Crystal Palace midfielder is now growing stronger. Reports suggest the Reds are edging closer to a potential agreement, with Wharton open to joining Liverpool on a long-term 5-year deal. The club is believed to be ready to pay up to £80 million to secure his signature. At just 20 years old, Wharton has already shown maturity beyond his age. He is calm on the ball, excellent at passing under pressure, and smart in his positioning. He reads the game well, breaks up opposition attacks, and quickly turns defense into attack. In simple terms, he does the dirty work while also keeping the ball moving smoothly. Wharton would bring energy, discipline, and intelligence to Liverpool's midfield. He is the type of player who allows others around him to play better. With him in the team, creative players like Mac Allister and Szoboszlai would have more freedom to express themselves higher up the pitch. But Liverpool are not stopping there. The second name on the list is a huge one, Aurélien Tchouaméni. The Real Madrid star has long been admired by Liverpool, and the club reportedly sees him as the ideal midfielder to lead their engine room for years to come. Even though Madrid are reluctant to sell, Liverpool are said to be willing to test their resolve with a massive offer of around €100 million, which is roughly £87 million. Tchouaméni is a complete midfielder. He is powerful, strong in tackles, dominant in the air, and technically excellent. He can shield the defense, control the tempo, and drive forward with the ball. In many ways, he represents everything Liverpool have been missing since their best midfield years. Pairing Tchouaméni with Wharton would give Liverpool a dream foundation in midfield. One brings youthful intelligence and control, the other brings experience, strength, and authority. Together, they could create a balanced and unstoppable partnership. Now imagine this scenario. Tchouaméni sitting deep, protecting the back line. Wharton operating alongside him, recycling possession and pressing aggressively. Ahead of them, players like Mac Allister and Szoboszlai create chances, link play, and support the attack. Add Gravenberch's dribbling ability and physical presence into the rotation, and suddenly Liverpool have depth, variety, and quality across the board. This kind of midfield setup would allow Liverpool to dominate matches again. They would win more second balls, control possession better, and suffer less defensively. It would also reduce pressure on the back four, which has struggled at times this season. Of course, such a double deal would not be cheap. Combined, the two transfers could cost around £167 million. But Liverpool know that to stay among Europe's elite, bold investment is sometimes necessary. This would not be spending for the sake of it. It would be a strategic rebuild of the most important area of the pitch. There are also big questions surrounding the club's future direction. Doubts continue to hang over Arne Slot's long-term position as manager, and changes behind the scenes may happen. However, recruitment planning does not stop because of uncertainty. Liverpool are thinking ahead, preparing a squad that can compete regardless of who is in charge. If the Reds manage to land both Wharton and Tchouaméni, it would send a powerful message to the rest of the Premier League. Liverpool are not standing still. Liverpool are not accepting decline. Liverpool are building again. Midfield has always been the heartbeat of successful Liverpool teams. From the energy of Gerrard and Alonso to the work rate of Henderson and Wijnaldum, great midfields have driven great seasons. This potential new duo could be the next chapter in that proud tradition. Of course, strengthening midfield alone will not fix everything. Liverpool also need improvements in defense, and depth in certain positions remains a concern. But getting the midfield right is the first step. Once the engine is running properly, the whole machine works better. So, Liverpool fans, get excited. A new era could be taking shape right before our eyes. Two elite midfielders. A bold vision. A chance to restore dominance. If these deals go through, the Reds could be back to controlling games, frightening opponents, and pushing hard for Premier League and Champions League glory once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss anything. Hello again, Liverpool fans. Welcome back. Liverpool's transfer business is already heating up ahead of the summer window, and while most eyes are usually fixed on big money signings for the first team, the club has quietly made two exciting moves that could shape the future of the Reds for years to come. These are not headline-grabbing superstars, but they are exactly the kind of smart, long-term investments that Liverpool have built their success on. One of those signings is 18-year-old defender Afani Ndukwi, who will join Liverpool from Austria Vienna this summer. The deal has already been confirmed, and although Ndukwi will initially link up with Liverpool's under-21 side, there is genuine belief inside the club that he has the potential to push his way into first-team thinking in the future. What makes this signing even more interesting is that Ndukwi is not just another unknown youngster. He is a player who has already caught the attention of some of the most respected figures in world football, including legendary former Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger. Ndukwi first came onto Liverpool's radar during last year's under-17 World Cup in Qatar. Playing for Austria, the young defender was a key figure in an impressive tournament run that saw his country reach the final, where they narrowly lost 1-0 to Portugal. Throughout the competition, Ndukwi stood out for his composure, intelligence, and ability to play out from the back, qualities that perfectly match the modern defender profile Liverpool look for. Liverpool's scouting team were closely monitoring the tournament, searching for emerging talent that could fit into the club's long-term vision. Ndukwi's performances clearly ticked all the boxes. But Liverpool were not the only ones impressed. Arsene Wenger, who now works as FIFA's chief of global football development, was present at the tournament and was asked which players had caught his eye. Among the names he mentioned was Afani Ndukwi, a huge endorsement for any young footballer. Wenger spoke about how modern football is changing, explaining that build-up play is no longer just about midfielders. Instead, goalkeepers and defenders are now central to starting attacks. He pointed out that defenders are appearing more and more in top-level performance data because of their importance in shaping how teams play. In simple terms, Wenger was highlighting exactly why players like Ndukwi are so valuable. He is not just a defender who clears the ball and tackles. He is comfortable on the ball, can read the game well, and can help his team control possession from deep areas. That is the kind of defender Liverpool have built their recent success around. Alongside Ndukwi, Liverpool have also signed another young center-back, Mortala Ndiaye, as part of their efforts to strengthen the youth ranks. Ndiaye's arrival has unfortunately been delayed by an injury discovered during his medical, meaning he will be unavailable for a few weeks. Still, Liverpool remain confident in his potential and see him as another exciting prospect for the future. It is important to stress that these signings are not direct replacements for any current first-team defenders. They are part of a longer-term plan, a strategy focused on building a strong pipeline of talent from youth level to senior football. However, the timing of these moves is interesting, especially given the uncertainty surrounding Liverpool's current defensive situation. Virgil van Dijk is entering the final year of his contract, and while he remains a crucial leader and world-class defender, his long-term future is not yet fully resolved. Ibrahima Konate has been linked with a possible move away this summer, and Joe Gomez may also consider ending his long stay at Anfield in search of regular football elsewhere. On top of that, young defender Giovanni Leone is still recovering from a serious ACL injury, and it is unclear whether he will be fit in time for the start of the new season. All of this means Liverpool could soon find themselves needing to refresh their defensive options at senior level. While Ndukwi and Ndiaye are not expected to step straight into the first team, their arrivals show that Liverpool are thinking ahead and planning carefully. This is classic Liverpool recruitment. Rather than waiting for problems to appear, the club identifies talent early, develops it patiently, and gives young players the platform to grow. We have seen this approach work time and time again, with players progressing through the system and eventually becoming important members of the squad. For Ndukwi, the journey is just beginning. Joining Liverpool at 18 years old is a massive opportunity, and having the backing of someone like Arsene Wenger only adds to the excitement. If he continues to develop, learn, and adapt to the demands of English football, there is every chance he could become a name Liverpool fans hear much more about in the years to come. So while the big summer headlines will focus on marquee signings and first-team changes, keep an eye on these young additions. They represent the future, the next generation of Reds who could one day light up Anfield. Liverpool are building not just for tomorrow, but for many seasons ahead, and Afani Ndukwi is now part of that long-term story. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss anything.